It's no secret that at this point of the year, teachers are just trying to make it to winter break. But as tempting as it may be to just run out the door when the bell rings, making sure that your classroom is set up and ready to go for when you return will actually allow you to have a more restful break. Hey y'all, I'm Rachel Vincent, a 4th grade teacher in South Carolina, and I share tips on running effective and efficient classrooms so that you can get all the things done and still have time to teach. The first area you may want to go through to make sure it is ready to go for the new year are your student areas. Particularly in this case, maybe their desks and or cubbies. Throughout the first half of the year, things have just gotten shoved in there, and it's time to pull all that stuff out, wipe it down clean to make sure that everything is fresh and ready to go for the new year. My students have a work folder, and one of the things I like for them to do before we go on any break, particularly a longer break, is to make sure that they have gone through that folder and turned in any missing work, recycled any papers that they no longer need, so that when we come back and we're starting all these new units and things, everything is orderly. They aren't trying to shuffle through thousands of papers that they have kept, because who knows why some students keep what they keep. But just making sure that they have turned in missing assignments and have gone through all of their papers. The next thing I like to do with my students is to kind of refresh their supplies. Do they need to throw out some of these pencils that are teeny tiny and have fresh pencils ready to go? Do they need to go through some of their crayons and throw away the broken pieces, the papers that they've peeled off? Do their markers still work? Just kind of refresh, make sure that they're set and ready to go. And it's a great time to also send home a little note saying that a student needs more supplies, and this would make a great stocking stuffer to bring back to school in the new year. Cleaning up their areas and dusting don't just have to do with their desk, which is one of the major areas that they have to clean out. In our case, we have tables, so cleaning out their cubby is a big task we do. And while they're doing that, I like to make sure that the student access areas are restocked. Do we have lined paper ready to go for the new year? Have we cleaned out the lost property bucket that has all sorts of miscellaneous things? I like to go through and clean around the pencil sharpener area, make sure that's neat and tidy, because to be honest, it doesn't get done every day, and sometimes not even every week. Right before a break is a great time to get those things reset and refreshed and ready to go. Not only do the student areas need to be cleaned and taken care of, I also like to do that with my area. Are there papers that I need to file? I like to go through and file papers that need to be filed away. I like to go through my bulletin board, and as much as I love all of the beautiful artwork from my students, I like to take them down and file them away so that it makes room for new artwork from students. I like to dust and wipe down my desk area and things like that. Again, it's one of those things that I don't typically do very often, but it's good to do right before a break. The next area that I like to take a look at before going on break are the walls and the board. Definitely, I want to go ahead and reset my calendar, make sure it's ready to go for January, wipe down the board and the marker tray. Is there any student work that I can take down to make room for new work? I also like to check in on my anchor charts. Are there things that I can take down and file away so that, again, it's making space for all of the new things we're going to be learning in the new year. And then of course, fix anything that's falling. Again, halfway through the school year, inevitably things have started falling off the cinder block walls, so taking the time to fix those, add some more glue, add some more tape to make sure everything is nice and secure, so when you come in from break, your room looks nice and fresh. This next thing is probably one of the most important things to me, is to make sure I have a plan for when I return to school. Now, I am an over planner, and so I will actually plan out that first week that we're back. But if that's too much for you to take on, just make sure you have that first day you're back, so that at least you don't have to worry about that over break, and you could come in, you already have day one planned, and then you can use that day to plan the rest of your week. Definitely make sure you have at least a rough idea of what you're doing that first day back. Again, it takes that off your mind, and you're not thinking about it over break. You're not thinking, oh gosh, I've got to plan. I don't even know what I'm going to do when that first day back. Go ahead and get that day planned. And if you have time before break, plan the rest of your week. But if not, that's all right. Just get that first day planned. Go ahead and make copies for that first day. I like to do a few New Year type activities and what did they do over winter break to kind of ease them back into the routine, because everybody will be off their routine after 2 weeks off of school. So I typically have a what you did over winter break paper ready to go for their desks. And then I get my goal setting things so that we can set new goals in the new year. I have my PowerPoints ready to go. All those things that I want to do that first day, I go ahead and get those things prepped and ready so that they are ready to go. And in that first day, I'm also thinking about how am I going to reteach and refresh our routines and procedures, because again, kids have been off for 2 weeks, they have gotten out of the routine, so you have to walk them back through those same routines and procedures and think about which ones do I really want to focus on that first day so that I can weave them into my lesson that day. Now, if you're like me and you want to have that first full week completely planned before you go on break, then check out the video that's on your screen now while I will break down day by day what to do the week before break so that you are all planned out that first week back.